Hi guys, Jaap Kalkman here from Skeena River Fly Supply. I'm just gonna go over how I tie the prom dress today. The Skeena River Lodge version on a tube, 3mm tube. Slide it on a mandrel. Slide the whole unit into the tube holder. Let it stick out a little bit in front from where you're gonna tie. Quite a ways, so you don't have to tie right against the vise. Tighten it down and then you got a rock solid tube to work on. First thing I'm going to do is create a stopper, because I like those flies to be weighted a little bit with a brass bead. So a little ways away from the vise I'm going to create a stopper with standard 10-aught thread, or 8-aught if you have it. Whip finish it. Seat it. Done. So there we have the stopper. Then we're going to slide a brass bead onto the tube against the stopper. Then I use different thread. I use Semperfly nano thread because it's nice and strong, and it really whip finishes nice and easy, which I like in this fly. You'll see at the end how I use this thread. So tie that off, and then the first thing we do is create an underwing of Snow Runner, also known as Naiad. I take a bunch that forms like the quantity of a fly or a little bait fish. This is a Chinook fly, will be about 4 inches long. I brush out the underfur with a comb. There. Then I reverse the wing, tie it in reverse, just against the bead, and I gently rotate the thread around, pushing the fibers in front of the thread, coming around and around so that it's distributed evenly around the bead. And I tie it against the bead so you have a nice prop for the wing. Bring your thread forward a little bit. Split the body fibers in half. One part goes underneath, one goes above. Bring them back and bring your thread in between the split to the front. Hope you can see that okay there. Pull it back and tie it off in a bullet style. Really solid. That's already where that Semperfly nano thread comes in. Then distribute the hair by pulling it around the prop. And then I brush that out. Comb it out, I should say. There, and then you have a fish-shaped underbody like that. Then we use some Hadron Flashaboo, original Flashaboo in electric blue. Go to the midpoint of the fibers of the flash, like that. Tie in one bunch on top. Spread it again around the tube a little bit, as much as you can. Bring your thread a little bit forward. Bring the other section down underneath the tube and tie it off. Then spread the fibers again around the tube a little bit, like that. And then you have an even distribution of the Flashaboo around the body hair. I'd like to wetten that a little bit to keep the Flashaboo out of the way for the next steps in tying. You can't see this, but I'm cutting off a little bit on the end to even everything out straight. Then, let's see, you can still see that. I use a large marabou plume. I started this new range of marabou. It's called Select Large Marabou. And I select them to be long and then thinner on the top. So when you buy your package from us, it will have some flexible part on the top. And I really like that it works fast. I just pull the bottom part off, like that. And then this works really well. You get this thing. Tie in the tip. Bring it forward, the thread. Fold it back. Tie it off. Pull that out of the way. And then just hackle the marabou plume forward. Try to pull the fibers a little bit out of the way so they don't get entrapped too much. And then tie off, and here comes that thread handy again. This is really strong and it cuts in a little bit and really ties off the marabou stem really nice. Tie that off thoroughly. Then, see if you can see that there. I pull this back quite strong there, and I lay a thread bump against the tag end of the marabou stem. Then I cut that off close to the fly. Then I whip finish it. Leave everything as it is on the marabou wing. Just whip finish it at this point, and I whip finish about 10 times, and I try to go behind the tag end of the marabou. Cut off and leave a little bit of a tag end. Don't cut it off too short. Then at this point I comb out the underfibers, and I use these little CNF design comb. Works really well. I use it a lot for combing out stuff. It really grabs the underfibers that are trapped really well. There. And that's basically the fly. Then we're going to finish it off with the cone. Grab a cone with a 3.2 millimeter hole there that fits over the 3 millimeter tube. See if I can move this a bit there. Okay. Then I really press this on there thoroughly. Then I remove the mandrel backwards by pulling on it, and I line it up at the edge of the cone head, like that. So the end of the mandrel is sitting flush with the end of the cone head. Then I leave about 2 or 3 mil sticking out, cut it off, and then we burn a flange on that. And the flange will not melt in the center so much because that mandrel is sitting in there and it's kind of cold. So that keeps that hole open and prevents it from melting together. And that's the whole fly done. I'll take it out, try to show it. There's the hole. Tube sticks out in the body here. You can just insert the hook in there or use a piece of junction tubing if you like. And that's the fly. Really good fly, responsible for a lot of sore mouths. So there we go. That's it for today. I'm hoping to find some time to do some more of these videos. See you guys later.